Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Lights. It's like a little halo, like a Brahma chocolate. Maybe that's light. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. I guess he's okay. I was drinking water, so I didn't want them to. Maybe this is open is better. Hare Krishna. Maybe it's too light. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ramo Hare Hare, Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari, Jaya
Jaya
Radha,
Radha Madhava, Kunja Bihari.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari, Jaya Radha
Jaya Kunja
Gopi
Bihari.
Jana Vallabha Giri Maradhari, Gopi
Gopi
Jana
Jana
Vallabha
Vallabha, Giridharadhari
Yashodanandana Praja Janaranjana
Yashodanandana Bhajajaranjana
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 Yamuna Tera Vanachari
Yamunatira Vanachari
Yamuna Tera Vanachari
Yamunatira
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada
Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada.
Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev
Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Gurudev.
Nitai Gora Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol
Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada ki jai. Anant Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Namacharya Srila Das Thakur ki jai. Prem se kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda. Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gop Gopinath Shyamakunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan ki jai. Vrindavan Mutara Dham ki jai. Mayapur Navadip Dham ki jai. Jagannathpuri Dham ki jai. Alachua Niramanditi Dham ki jai. Alachua Wednesday Bhagavad Gita Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Srimad Bhagavat Gita ki jai. Bhagavan Krishna Chandra Bhagavan ki jai. Arjun Prabhu ki jai. Samaveta Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Nitai Gaura Pramanande. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to Sisi Guru and Gaurang. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. So, thank you for all coming. And I'm also thanking the Zoom Bhakta Bindas. Please fold your hand and invoke the mercy of Lord Vasudev so that our consciousness remain pure to perceive the sweet nectarian words of Lord Sri Krishna to Arjuna, or their conversation. So with folded hand, please repeat 3 times after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. If you know, you can recite together, otherwise you can hear. Narayanam namaskritam naran chaiva narottamam devim sarasatim vyasam tato jayam mudirayat. Nashtaprayeshu bhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya. Bhagavati uttama sloke bhaktir bhavati naistaki. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Tinamine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunnavadi Paschata Deshatarine Pancha Kalpataruvesya Kripa Sindhubhaivacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Binda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So we have started Srimad Bhagavat Gita chapter 5 last week, and today is our second session. So I was thinking to change. Is this offered?
I don't know.
Yes? Okay, thank you. Jai Prabhupada. So we thought of little change on the format that one person can lead us to recite the sloka instead of together chanting responsibly. So Lakshmi Nrsimha Prabhu, you are the senior most. So we're going to start from, we finished last week. Who remembers beside me? We'll begin from 7. Very good. Very good. So 5.7 will begin. Just to give a little background where we are coming from last week and where we are heading today. So in the beginning, the discussion was that should I fight or should I take renunciation from fighting? So Krishna says neither. Then he says fight with renunciation, action with renunciation. Then Arjuna is like started thinking like, how is this action with renunciation? So action with renunciation, in that sense, Krishna explains that when you perform an activity in your life with attachment, it will bind you. And what is the problem with binding? You will suffer. So if you renounce the action, then it will liberate you. But then question is, you are born with a psychophysical nature, you have to purify that. Just renouncing the activity will not solve the problem. So then famous verse was quoted, Karmanye eva adhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phalo hetubu mate sangasta karmani 2.47. Krishna suggested Arjuna that do activities without I would suggest somebody just put unmute. Okay, thank you. So do activity in your life every day without hankering for a result. Now there is a fine understanding on this point. I want everybody to pay a little attention in your life, how you apply this. If you look at 2.47, Krishna says, you do your duty, but don't look for result. You should not look for a result. But sometimes it is misunderstood. There are goals and there are results. Everybody heard? Okay. Krishna is not saying don't set goals. You have that sloka, Prabhu? You can read the translation, 2.47.
Yeah, you want the translation?
Yeah, just the translation.
You have a right to perform your prescribed duty, but you are not entitled to the fruits of action. Never consider yourself the cause of the results of your activity, and never be attached to not doing your duty.
Very good. There's a fine line. So we see Prabhupada gave a very nice. So I'm going to give you little tips on this, and then we are beginning today where we ended. That there are goals and there are results. What is the difference between these two? The goals, before you begin the action, you set up a goal. Just like Pandavas, every night they would have a discussion. Krishna would be there also. Okay, tomorrow, today is 13th day, 14th. I'm so angry, Arjuna is saying in front of everyone, tomorrow I'm going to kill Jayadratha. If I don't kill, I'm going to put myself in the fire. So that's called goal. Goal you set before action. Can you remember that? Krishna did not say don't set goal. You must set goal. Today I'm going to go to Mother Tejaswini, Dhiralolita Prabhu's house to hear Bhagavat Gita. That's your goal. Now, what are you going to get out of it? You may be happy, maybe not. That is, don't worry about it. Krishna says, do not set that. I'm going to go there to get illuminated. I'm going to hold on to it. That is wrong. Everybody understood? But you set your goal. So Arjuna would, every day they would set up their goal. And Krishna was there. Krishna could have said, hey, I already spoke to you 2 chapters before that don't hanker for the result. So why you are now saying that you are setting up that tomorrow you're going to kill Jayadratha? Why you're saying this? So very interestingly, Hare Krishna, Come in the front. So Krishna is saying here very interestingly that no, set your goal, but don't set your result. When the result comes, after the action. Everybody with me? I mean, when you get your result, paycheck, after the action. But you set up your goal, every day you're going to go and work. So you can see that to set up goal, nothing wrong. Krishna did not say that don't set up goal. But Krishna says don't settle for result. You're not entitled. So here, there is a misunderstanding. What was the misunderstanding? That when they read, they think that some people, they think that detachment and irresponsibility are the same thing. Detachment means that I'm not going to, I have an exam, say, for an example, I have an exam in a week. Detachment means it doesn't matter, whatever the result will come out. I don't have to worry about it. Just, I'm not going to. No, Krishna did not say that. Krishna said, you must study, you must prepare. But say after a week, okay, I set up my goal and I prepared and I went to exam. But after the exam is over, what the result will come? No, do not worry or do not even think about it. Because what it will come out is not up to you, is it? So this is what the fine line of this verse. There is also another misunderstanding that sometimes irresponsibility, they think is dependence on Krishna. Are you studying for your exam? I depend on Krishna, Prabhu. You know, why do I have to feel pressure? I'm not focusing on the goal. I depend on Krishna. No, depend on Krishna and not studying, preparing for the exam. Not preparing for the exam is irresponsibility. Or you can say in a fancy way, laziness. Dependence means you prepare and what result will come, it's up to Krishna and the examiner. But you must prepare. We must prepare our life. You follow? Because this is misunderstood, that verse. That's why. So Krishna is beginning this chapter from that. Can somebody give me one feedback, like what did you concluded? Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, I'd like to repeat it in my own words to make sure I'm clear with it.
Okay.
So there's a point that you made is there's a distinction between goal and results. And that goal, we can set goals and we can also prepare for our goal. And goal setting and preparing is usually before the action and during the action. But then there is result, and the result is after the action. What you get as a result of preparing for your target, for your focus. Now, what Krishna is saying is that you should not be attacked after you do your responsibility of goal setting and goal preparing. Then that's when it's in Krishna's hands.
Very good.
When
very good. He got it. Give him a little. Very nice. Thank you. Very nicely put it. Okay, with that note, we'll start from 5.7. So we'll try with that format, see how it works. Maybe one line, and then we repeat. You have a Bhagavat Gita, one more? Yeah.
Oh, we can share some.
Okay. So we are going to begin from 5.7. I'm going slow. Okay, here it is. Okay, Prabhu, Lakshmi Singh Prabhu, you want to start from that?
Okay. Yoga Yukto Vishuddhatma.
Everybody. Yoga Yukta Vishuddhatma.
Vijitatma Jitendriya.
Vijitatma Jitendriya.
Sarvabhutatma Bhutatma.
Sarvabhutatma Bhutatma.
Kurvanapi na lipyate.
Kurbanapi na lipate. Okay, translation and the purport. Now I made a question on that. So before, when you hear the translation and purport, see if you can catch the answer, find the answer. That will take away from that. Why is Krishna conscious person dear to every living being? Prabhupada answer it, but you have to find it. How does one in Krishna consciousness think and act? While battling in Kurukshetra, was carrying out Krishna's order in full Krishna consciousness. How do we carry out Krishna's order in full Krishna consciousness? Okay, with that note, please begin.
One who works in devotion, who is a pure soul, and who controls his mind and senses, is dear to everyone, and everyone is dear to him. Though always working, such a man is never entangled. Purport? Purport by Divine Grace. One who is on the path of liberation by Krishna consciousness is very dear to every living being, and every living being is dear to him. This is due to his Krishna consciousness. Such a person cannot think of any living being as separate from Krishna, just as the leaves and branches of a tree are not separate from the tree. He knows very well that by pouring water on the root of the tree, the water will be distributed to all the leaves and branches, or by supplying food to the stomach, the energy is automatically distributed throughout the body. Because one who works in Krishna consciousness is servant to all. He is very dear to everyone. And because everyone is satisfied by his work, he is pure in consciousness. Because he is pure in consciousness, his mind is completely controlled. And because his mind is controlled, his senses are also controlled. Because his mind is always fixed on Krishna, there is no chance of his being deviated from Krishna. Nor is there a chance that he will engage his senses in matters other than the service of the Lord. He does not like to hear anything except topics relating to Krishna. He does not like to eat anything which is not offered to Krishna. And he does not wish to go anywhere if Krishna is not involved. Therefore, his senses are controlled. A man of controlled senses cannot be offensive to anyone. One may ask, why then was Arjuna offensive in battle to others? Wasn't he in Krishna consciousness? Arjuna was only superficially offensive because, as has already been explained in the second chapter, all the assembled persons on the battlefield would continue to live individually, as the soul cannot be slain. So, spiritually, no one was killed on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Only their dresses were changed by the order of Krishna, who was personally present. Therefore, Arjuna, while fighting on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, was not really fighting at all. He was simply carrying out the orders of Krishna in full Krishna consciousness. Such a person is never entangled in the reactions of work.
Okay, very good. What can you take away from this purport? If you do few things, you can count. There are 9, but at least I was counting. There are few things. Whatever you do from morning till next morning, I'm just giving an example. If somebody from the Zoom would like to answer, you can raise your hand. When you get up in the morning, you pay obeisances, then your day began. For whose pleasure? Krishna's pleasure. Other day we discussed that our relationship with Krishna, not with Guru. So you have to see Guru from a different angle. That he is the most important in your life. How? Your relationship, eternal relationship is not with Guru, is with Krishna. Jivara Sarup Hai, Krishna Nityadas. You will see the verses are talking that you have eternal relationship with your Guru, Krishna, particular form. But that relationship, Jive Sakshat Nahi Tate Guru Chaita Rupe, Shiksha Guru Han Krishna Mahanta Sarupe. Because your relationship is not visible, you cannot pursue in it, you cannot see it. Krishna sent his own person to intervene in between you and Krishna, to remove the things that blocking you and Krishna. So who is Guru? Guru is here to help me to come back to Krishna. He removes in between Krishna and me. What are those called? Anarthas, aparad, whatever, the unlimited things. So when we offer things, everything through Guru, he takes on behalf of Krishna and offer it to Krishna. Guru is not enjoyer. We have to be very careful. Guru is taking on behalf of Krishna and offering to Krishna. So if you think from morning in that view, whatever you're doing, you're going for UPS work like Bhuta Bhavan Prabhu goes every day. He's seeing in a relationship. I have a family, devotee family. For the pleasure of Krishna's family, I'll earn money. I'll guard this house. I'll bear the expenses. For who? For Krishna. Then when you go like this way, then you can actually, your activity is like, next verse we'll see, or maybe after, like a lotus leaf in a water. You are in the material world, but actually you're not connected with the material world. Because of your, everything you do, everything you think is connected with Krishna. So it's very simple, but each individual has their own preference way of their connecting with that. Param Karuna Prabhu, you have a raised hand.
Yes, Prabhu. So thank you very much. The Maharaj class got over, so I got opportunity to hear you.
I'm
so,
glad you came.
Prabhu, the thing is that when you are saying our eternal relationship is with Krishna, and that is true, and since we cannot perceive Krishna, therefore Chaitya Guru comes in a form of Guru. So, Prabhu, but is it not true that when you go to spiritual world, we work under our Guru only as a Manjari or in Sakha, or we work under someone else?
Yes, under guidance is eternally there, but it is not the form that you are related to this Guru in this world. Your relationship with Krishna, eternal. And Krishna sent, see, same Guru, like for an example, Dhruva Maharaj's case, Narad Muni came and he got Narayan. Prahlad Maharaj's case, Purnamashi's case, he got Krishna. If Balmiki's case, he connected with Lord Ram. So Narad Muni can be connecting so many souls with their own Ishtadev, means object of love. So that's the function of the Guru, that connects the soul. Whatever the relationship, three things you have a permanent nature, eternal position, eternal function. These three things are fixed in a sense, in a highest happiness experience from that angle. Then Guru comes to reconnect those three. Then his job is done. In spiritual world, when you move there, that's called Postu Siddhi. Postu Siddhi, from first in this life, we are developing that strong attachment, awakening our love for Krishna. Then you become Swarup Siddha. Then in Krishna book, chapter 28, middle to end, Prabhupada says, what will happen when you leave this world? you will take birth in a abode where Krishna is performing Leela. You don't go straight to Golok. And then there, you actually associate with all the Brajavashis, and in one sense, it is spiritual world. It's not any more material. But again, I said as a spiritual world is not like a physical location. It's a different level of reality. It's pure goodness. Pure goodness, just like the super soul within our heart, is also in pure goodness. It's the same existence, Golok Vrindavan and the Paramatma. But material body is made of matter, 5 elements. So how is that super soul within this material body? No, it's not in material body, but it appears he's in the Riddesha. But he has his own level of reality of existence. It's nothing to do with the 3 modes. Even though Krishna is in every atom, but he is not in a material atom. In the atom, but in pure goodness. In Prabhupada, one lecture he says even far out. I could not even sleep for a day almost like that, thinking about it. Prabhupada says that in the atom, Krishna entered in every atom, but he is not alone there. He is there with all these unlimited Brajavashis. So is this atom, what is atom means? It's like some physical, measurable, achievable, something calculatable, microscopic, visible or something. That's what we think, atom. But it is not like this. How can be within atom the whole Vrindavan with millions of Brajavashis? So this is different level of reality. We have to look at from that angle. Bhakta Bhaktam. Krishna says in 8:22 that there is another world. That world is not manifested to this world, but you can be here and serve. 3.2.20, 3.2.6 Prabhupada, Bhagavatam. Prabhupada also explained this. You can be physically here, but serve in Golok Vrindavan in your spiritual body. That's so nice. I hope that helps you, Param Karuna Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu. It's inconceivable, but I'm trying to absorb it. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so 8.9. Somebody would like to read from the Zoom? We got quite a bit up there. Mother Shema Mai, would you like to read the sloka?
Yes, Prabhu.
Go ahead. We'll repeat or we'll respond after you read.
Okay, let me just get the chapter. Oh, sorry.
5.8. 8 and 9 together.
5.8. Okay.
Now, Krishna did not speak together like this. Vyasdev did not put. Prabhupada put these 2 sloka. I see other. I also do some research on the other Bhagavat Gita like Ramanujacharya. They didn't put 8 and 9 together. Prabhupada put it. There's some reason why he put.
Okay.
When you meet him, you can ask.
Naiva kinchit karomiti.
Naiva kinchit karomiti.
Yukta mandeta tatvavit.
Yukta manneta tattavit.
Pasyam shrinvan srishan nigrahan.
Pasyan srinvan svisham vigran.
Ashnan gachan svapan svasan.
Asnan gachan sapan sasan.
Pralapan vishrijan grinan.
Pralapan visrijan grinan.
Unmishan nimishan api.
Unmishan nimishan api.
Indriyateshu.
Indriyartesu.
Vartanta iti dharyayan.
Vartanta iti dharayan. Please read the translation and then purport. But wait 1 second. I made a question on this also. See if you can catch. You have to catch. What makes our action spiritual versus material? Other day we discussed that there is a 2 way you can look at something compositional sense It's something application sense. Compositional sense means Satchidananda. What is it? Spiritual, period. Spiritualized and Satchidananda are not necessarily same. Just like you could make a deity out of sand. There are 8 types of deity. And then after you do puja, it's finished with the water. You know, what happened? Was this Satchidananda? No. Satchidananda is never breakable or disappear, nothing. It's eternally exist. But spiritualized form, it also same as Satchidananda, no difference. But it may have a, not act like a Satchidananda. Just some idea on this. So what is material? What is spiritual? This material, this world, Krishna says in 7.4, what did he say? Bhumi apanalo vayu khammana buddhi vacha ahankaro iti bhinna prakriti astada. Astada means 8. These 8 elements, earth, air, water, fire, ether, mind, intelligence, ego, they are made of material. What is material means? Matter. Matter, you know, dead matter. No consciousness, period. Material means dead matter. So these are matter made of, this is called material. My body, my mind, these are material. Now the second part I mentioned, this is very important. This is how I understand. That's why I'm expressing, not necessarily you have to, you may get more digging. Second is the application sense. Application sense means what is the utility for? Okay, my body is made of matter, but I'm using it, my senses for Krishna. Now it's spiritualized. It's no more material. You follow? So this idea, if you think, okay, it is material, means if I don't practice Krishna consciousness, if I don't utilize my senses for Krishna, it will go back where it comes from. Can you get it? Means it comes from material, it can go back. So I have to constantly engage my senses in spiritual, then it will stay spiritual like Satchidananda. I didn't say Satchidananda, like Satchidananda. Then until your spiritual, you have a spiritual form, but it will manifest after you dissolve this. Okay, so from that angle, this question is what makes our action spiritual versus material? One question. Second, how does somebody's sound? How does a Krishna conscious person not have to deal with 5 factors? It's interesting. I thought 5 factors is only one places, 18.14, but it's many purport Prabhupada put. And today, after 43 years, I discovered something in the purport. I read that purport many times, I didn't get it. All of a sudden it clicked. Prabhupada said that pure Krishna conscious person has nothing to do with the 5 factors. They are above. But everybody, well, I'm not saying that you are not pure, but I'm not pure. So 5 factor is applicable. You follow? You have your soul, you have a body. You follow? You have a senses. And you have a nature to act. You follow? And finally, the willpower, sanctioning power coming from God. Even though Krishna is not a part of the 5 factor, but without his sanction, nothing we can do. So in that sense, you follow? But here in this purport, Prabhupada put very interesting. So I wrote, how does a Krishna conscious person not have to deal with 5 factors? How can we understand that we are not the body? If the soul is not the one taking action, why does it receive the reaction? Why do the scriptures say that soul is responsible? Like in a morning walk, the Prabhupada had a discussion on that. If you tell to the judge that it was not me, it was like the alcoholic body is responsible for making me not focus properly when I drink. So I killed that person, but I'm not responsible, it's the alcohol. So then the judge asked the person, who choose to drink? Oh, well, me. Oh, then you're responsible. So you see how you find point. There are three factors you will find in this purport. Very nice. Okay, Mother Shema Mai, please go ahead.
Okay. A person in divine consciousness, although engaged in seeing, hearing, touching, smelling, eating, moving about, sleeping and breathing, always knows within himself that he actually does nothing at all. Because while speaking, evacuating, receiving, or opening or closing his eyes, he always knows that only the material senses are engaged with their objects and that he is aloof from them. Read the purport.
Sure.
A person in Krishna consciousness is pure in his existence, and consequently he has nothing to do with any work which depends upon 5 immediate and remote causes: the doer, the work, the situation, the endeavor, and fortune. This is because he is engaged in the loving transcendental service of Krishna. Although he appears to be acting with his body and senses, he is always conscious of his actual position, which is spiritual engagement. In material consciousness, the senses are engaged in sense gratification, but in Krishna consciousness, the senses are engaged in the satisfaction of Krishna's senses. Therefore, the Krishna conscious person is always free, even though he appears to be engaged in affairs of the senses. Activities such as seeing and hearing are actions of the senses meant for receiving knowledge, whereas moving, speaking, evacuating, etc., are actions of the senses meant for work. A Krishna conscious person is never affected by the actions of the senses. He cannot perform any act except in the service of the Lord, because he knows that he is the eternal servitor of the Lord.
So you got body, you have your identity. How do you identify yourself? By your functional. What do you do? I'm a man, I'm a doctor, I'm American. These are, you have also. You cannot deny it, you have that. And then third is instrument. Instrument, what do you have? You have a mind, you have a senses. And then fourth is the endeavor, effort. And the fifth, I mentioned, who was fifth? Krishna, Paramatma. So this, anybody, Krishna says, anybody don't accept these 5 factors, he's not intelligent. You can look at it in 18.14, 15, 16, 17, 4 verses, Krishna explained. That means anything that is happening in our life, we should always think like this 5 factor. Why this is a big deal? Because don't take credit whatever is happening in your life. You know, I did this, I did this. I did. Like for an example, there is a tree I see outside. Axe will cut it. So axe is like a instrumental cause, Maya. You follow? But you are initiator cause. You are the holder of the axe. Now, can the axe cut itself? No. Can you cut without the axe? Can you understand that? So now if you say, who cut this tree? Oh, I did it. Well, that will be not proper. Makes sense? Because axe did the job and you don't give any credit, you're taking the whole credit yourself. That's not fair. So that if you look at everything we do, we should not take the credit. That's the whole purpose. It makes sense? Okay. So let's, when you say. So this is very nice. In the Baladev Vidyabhushan Thakur says, when you are in this material world, you are conditioned. What is condition means? You are sick. Spiritually, you are sick. Materially, you may not be sick. You may say, oh, no, I have a good body. You know, why you say I'm sick? No, spiritually, you have a 2 identity. One is fundamental identity, one is functional identity. Fundamental identity that you are a soul, servant of Krishna. That will never change. Functional identity, whatever, you are a man, woman, this profession. So fundamental identity, from the fundamental point, you are spiritually sick. Means you are not serving Krishna, you are not thinking of Krishna, you are not having fun with Krishna, you are just having fun with the matter, that matter. This is like a sick, spiritually sick. Just accept it. It's not our word. Haridas Thakur told to Mahaprabhu, when Mahaprabhu asked, how are you? He said, I'm sick. I cannot finish my rounds. And Prabhupada gave a whole purport that he cannot finish his round, and he considered this is spiritual sickness. Actually, everybody is spiritually sick in this material world. So, how you have to remember two things you do to get out of the sickness. You can relate. I'm sure all of us went through some time in our life sickness, right? So you can relate. One is to acknowledge the cause of the sickness, whatever virus, bacteria, whatever, WBC, white blood corpuscles is fighting, it's got defeated. You know how you see the defeated? Pus comes out. Those are blood also, white blood comes out as a pus. So you should identify the sickness, the cause of the sickness, and then you have to prevent so it does not infect you more. So whatever, you take some medicine or caution, whatever you do, that's one. And second, now while you are sick, you already got weak. In order to get healthy body, you need another care. So two care. One is to prevent no more sickness, no more attack by the enemy. And so that's called relationship, Atma, the soul and the material nature and their relationship. And then the getting better, healthy, means your relationship with Krishna. If you don't focus, if you only focus one, I'm just chanting, I'm not aware that I have a relationship with Krishna. The process taking longer. So relationships, this Sambandha Gyan, that relationship myself with the matter or material nature, and material nature relationship with me, and material nature relationship with Krishna, and Krishna's relationship with material nature, Krishna's relationship with me and my relationship. If you don't focus all this, you're taking half medicine. That's why you feel like you are okay, but you're not getting taste of spiritual life. It ever sounds familiar? Or you all are drowning into ecstasy spiritual? Means you are taking half medicine. So we have to take complete medicine. Means Prabhupada said, take the medicine and take good diet. One lecture Prabhupada said, you need both, medicine and the diet. Otherwise you will just get out of the sickness, but you are still weak. You need a healthy body. So to healthy body means relationship with the Lord has to be revived. Means we have to spend, can you do like 5 minutes every day? Just meditate on the form, DT form or UDT form about any Gaurnitai, or just do it 5 minutes. It's compulsory. Make it every day for a month. You'll see it becomes 10 minutes. You become a different person. Within you, mystically, you feel, experience something very illuminating, very stable, very happiness. It's true. It's not something artificial, but a lot of time we just don't focus. We just keep on doing things, not even aware that this is for the pleasure of Krishna. Just like for right now, as I mentioned, like in this process, two things should be always in our forehead. Right now you are here. What is your name, Prabhu?
Jai Jagannath Das.
Jai Jagannath Das. Dandavad. Thank you for coming. What can you do? Two things right now that will bring pleasure to your Guru and Krishna, to Prabhupada.
Hear Hari Katha.
Very good. Hear Hari Katha. He is already here. So you are hearing Hari Katha, and also you have to, it says that surrender has a 6 folds, but 2 are functional and 4 are internal. Now, I cannot see how you maintain a belief that Krishna will protect. That is between you and Krishna. It's not exhibiting in a t-shirt or a skin or somewhere. But I can see your function, that you're going to temple or you came here to here. So I can see that. So that's one. And another one is that what can I do that will bring pleasure to them? What I don't want to do right now that will bring pleasure. What can you not do that will bring pleasure to your Guru and Krishna?
I'll not go to the bar.
Well, right now you're in the here, you're not going to the bar. Okay, that's good. Or don't divert your mind. Because you may be sitting here, but mind is going somewhere or somewhere like this. You say, no, I'm going to bring the mind back. If you have these two things, your meditation, you can focus. In meditation, first thing you need is intention. If you didn't have an intention to serve Bhagavat Gita to hear, you would not be here. So intention you already have. The beginning of spiritual life, engaging the senses, you already done. We are doing this. Then we have to go to the next step. Next step. There's a 5 steps. Will come in next chapter. It talks about so much. Okay. We'll go to the next sloka. Yes, Prabhu.
Are we allowed to ask? Should we wait?
Yeah, you can ask.
I was having a question about compositional, spirit versus application. You were mentioning, and I was thinking of when Mahaprabhu is telling Sanatana Goswami that your body is Satchidanandamaya, and at the time of Diksha, you become the same as Krishna, and so your body becomes spiritualized. So is this? It's spiritualized in the sense of its application, because then Mahaprabhu goes and says, I have so much to accomplish through your body. I want to write so many literatures and do this. So does this apply? Is that the meaning in that passage? Or what is the meaning there where Mahaprabhu is telling Sanatana Goswami that the body itself is such an Satchidanandamaya? And as a Sadhaka, are we supposed to also think that the time of initiation we become Atma Sama and our bodies are spiritualized?
Who?
The sadhaka, because Diksha Kale Bhakta Kare, when that happens.
No, you missing one word. Diksha Kale, Shishya Kare.
Diksha Kale Bhakta Kare.
No, Shishya Kare. Diksha Kale, Shishya Kare, he becomes disciple. Right. Diksha Kale, okay, you can use that word Bhakta Kare, but it says Shishya Kare, Atma Samarpan. Right. So Atma Samarpan, if the disciple doesn't even know what the sixfold of how is doing Atma Samarpan? It makes sense?
Sure.
So he's not done Atma Samarpan. Atma Samarpan is focus. Saranga Sarnagati Haive Jahar Tahar Parthana Sunananda Kumar. Krishna hears and make him as equal him when he has 6 folds of surrender. So proportion to acting and understanding, because intention and action both are important in bhakti. Only action alone is not enough. I may be chanting, I may be doing a lot of service, but intention, I'm not even thinking who's for, I'm doing. Just I distribute so many books, nobody appreciate that. So it's like intention is very important also. Both are important, but sometimes intention even more, because Bhavananda Maharaj, he was cleaning the veranda in Mayapur, and Prabhupada was giving class. So he told us this story that Prabhupada said, I didn't see you. He said, I was busy cleaning the veranda, the balcony. Prabhupada said, you can pay somebody to get clean, but you cannot pay somebody to hear for you. I never forget that. Little things Prabhupada teach is so important. So even action is important, but intention, in that case, his action was not, it is also devotional service, cleaning the veranda. But hearing from Guru is more important than cleaning the veranda. Prabhupada didn't say that, but that's how I took it. That he said you could pay somebody to do this, but you cannot pay somebody to hear for you. So there is a gradation. So I don't know. There is a very rare soul I ever heard that at the time of initiation, complete surrender. You know anyone? I didn't. I'm not. I'm still trying to surrender. And I'm convinced that I want to surrender. There's no question. That's the only reason I'm going in this path. that I want to make it complete surrender. So yes, what Shastra says is correct, a proportion to that. That's all. Is that okay? Okay. In Sanatana Goswami Pad's case, he's eternal associate. So their body, we should see as a sadhaka, eternal sadhaka body. Their body is also spiritualized, like Satchidananda, but it is not in spiritual world. It is only here for a preaching. Like Rupa Goswami Pad left his body also. Prabhupada left his body. But they have a Satchidananda body in spiritual world. That is indestructible. This is also, but this has a changes like a material nature. Yes, Prabhu.
No, the point that you were making about the meditation on the deities for 5 minutes and then watch it grow once you kind of commit to that meditation. I had a little bit of a realization. I've been teaching Yoga Sutras, and prior to that, in my early days in the 70s in ISKCON, there was no emphasis on that. In fact, it was scorned. But the one thing I realized in studying the Yoga Sutras, specifically the version by Vaishnava, his name is Dr. Edwin Bryant, or Dwaita Prabhu, is the fact that the point that he made to me is the fact that Bhakti Yoga is a yoga system. So the studying of the Yoga Sutras is actually the mechanics or the strategy of meditation. In other words, yamas, niyamas, to put yourself in the proper internal, external mood. Pranayama and asana is the physical and the mental situation you put yourself in. And then this whole internal process of pratyahara, dhyana, like that. And I found that to be very helpful as a guideline or a mechanism to do exactly what you said, because in order to do what you said, the 5-minute commitment, it means controlled mind, a committed mind to the alambana. And the bhakti system, the alambana is Krishna, Radha Krishna, the lotus feet of Radha Krishna. So I find that it was helpful to understand when we say we are to meditate for 5 minutes, it was helpful to know the mechanism to actually put myself in a state where I can, for 5 minutes, look at the deities with the proper intention, with the proper mood, and derive the benefits of that meditation. And then it extends to your japa, although it gets more difficult because japa is about 2 hours. And that would be samadhi, the achievement of samadhi if you focus. But I really find that point very
Thank you.
Rewarding.
Now, this is very true. What you said is true. What motivated me that when I was reading Antalila Haridas Thakur explanation about holy name, 3rd chapter Antalila, you can read very nice. I gave a class the whole chapter, so I had to prepare myself. It was very fascinating. It says, Geni Gana Joge Kariya Jat. Sometimes I remember those verses because it's so addictive, those verses, you don't want to forget. It says, Geni Gana Joge Kariya Jatane Brahmera Sakshat Kare, Brahma Sakshatkar Aprarabdha Karma Sampurna Genate Hari. Kintu Prarabdha Karma Kobu Nahi Khaye Phalo Bhoga Bina Kobu, Brahmabhuta Ji Phalo Bhoga Lagi Janama Marana Lab. Kintu He Naam Tavaspurti Hole Ekanti Janera Aro. Everybody is born with a particular psychophysical nature, as we mentioned. When they join Krishna consciousness, they turn their face away from the nature to Krishna, and it's a relief, a jubilation experience they do, maybe 1 month, 1 year, whatever, sometime. And after that, the psychophysical nature starts surfing on the surface, and they go through like a little tough.
I'm teaching you. You'll be thankful after
Gopal
I'm
Radhe
gone.
Prabhu.
Yeah.
No argument with wife.
So you got one too?
No,
No, never argument. So, Then it says that when you join, then after you join, then you experience this happy in the beginning, then it goes away. It looks like I lost it. No, you didn't lose it. It's just that unwanted things were underneath, it just coming out. And then sometime it can be flooding your heart with so many desire, you know. Even I wanted to get out. I remember I had a desire, maybe I want to remarry. I mean, like a whole, like, wow, where is all this coming from? Practicing so long, like nicely, I'm trying to be, it is all there, dormant. And before they get out of heart, they will just give you a push. So in this verse, we'll learn something. I'm going to blend it. When you see a sense object and senses, for an example, ice cream, I'm just giving, ice cream is a sense object. So I see with my eye, well, this room is cool, but say it's a summer, hot summer, just an example. So ice cream is very appealing. Now, when you see the ice cream, sense object and senses, my eyes saw it, my mouth already watering or something. So then what happened? Super soul get involved. If you remember this is from this verse actually. Super soul gets involved, looked at it. Pran Govinda Das, ice cream. Maybe he has the money, he has, super soul knows all the record, what you deserve, what you don't deserve. So he check. That's all he does. Super soul just check. Immediately the Pracheta, one demigod, sits in the tongue. He's connected. All our tongue connected with the demigod called Pracheta. You don't taste actually ice cream. It is him who allows you, he processes you because super soul just sanctioned. And then Maya Devi will create this flavor, whatever, and then brings it to you. So Maya Devi is involved, or you can say nature is involved, and senses are involved, the demigods are involved, and you are allowed to experience this. This is how whole things. So I go back to the cycle. Sense object, senses coming. You can withdraw yourself. You don't have to go further. But if you get little attraction, you know, when you give attention to anything, when you have attraction, Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj gave a whole class about it. Very nice. When you have an attraction, and no, attraction come only when you get attachment. It's very true. And so then what happened? So super soul has to check everything. When super soul check, then super soul sanction it, then you get the result. If super soul doesn't sanction, you don't get result. I want that house, but I don't have credit. Okay, I won't get me. Oh, now I'm sad. Because super soul said, you're a lousy guy. No. Well, he didn't say like that. I'm just making it like. That's how the whole process goes so quick, but we fall for it like this. So here in this verse it says that you are born with prarabdha karma, means this physical body and the mind has a particular manifestation in this life. You're going to experience whether you are a devotee or not devotee, it doesn't matter. Everybody will going to experience. You follow? This is called prarabdha karma. Aprarabdha karma, it's like a arrows in the quiver in your back. And prarabdha karma is like the arrow you release from your string of the bows. When you release this arrow from your bow string, how much power you have to change the direction of the arrow? Help me. Zero. Very good answer. You don't have any control. So what you're going to experience in this life, it's done. You may take the credit, well, I met her, that's how I got married, or, you know, I went to meet this guy and now I got a good job. You know, I was looking that car, now I bought it. Like, you may take this credit, but it's like an illusion. You are in illusion if you take those credit. Because it's already done. It's just manifesting as the time goes. So this is called prarabdha. Aprarabdha means whoever has the arrows. So when you become devotee, first thing you do, actually by the mercy of Guru, you learn this knowledge and you practice, then you break all the quiver arrows. Means no more future life. It's all crashed. No more your future life. But present life, the arrow that sent, you cannot do anything about it. You're going to experience. But sometimes it is so difficult in life. But then Bhaktivinoda Thakur gave a commentary on Mahaprabhu's this opinion, Haridas Thakur conversation. Say, Kinto he naam stavaspurti hole. If you can manifest little glimpse of your beautiful form, O holy name, if you can manifest your form, even one moment, prarabdha or prarabdha, everything dissolves. You become jivan mukta, like liberated within this body. So just by looking, just by having darshan of the holy name one time, this can be result. I became so greedy, I'm still greedy. I want to have that darshan of the holy name once. Shoot for it. You can get it. You follow? All your material, everything dissolve. That doesn't mean you die. You stay in this body, but you're separated, like coconut. Prabhupada used the coconut. I don't know if everybody knows about coconut. You know, coconut shell and the inside separates, but it's still together, but not really connected in one sense. So like that, something like that. Okay, let's give a little example. I didn't put any example. Let's give an example. Any example you can think of?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Doer, the three doers. Yes, somebody speaking?
The lotus in the water. It's in the water, but it's not touched. The water doesn't stay on the lotus.
Yes, mother. That is true. No, I'm giving an example that how we should never take any credit the things happening in our life. We should see this, that it is a how, as I mentioned, you cut down the tree. If I take, who cut this tree? I did. Well, it's not really fair because the axe did the job. I was only holding the. But then who gave you the, impetus? The super soul sanction. So if we don't see all the factors, then we are still in illusion. Yes?
Can't we use that as like taking initiation? Sometimes we say, oh, I decided to take initiation and shelter my guru. And we might take the credit for that stepping into that spiritual situation. Like there are so many factors, whatever compelled me to move forward in that direction, whether it was my suffering or somebody else. And the circumstances of meeting Vaishnavas who gave me affection and their mercy and prasad.
You can look at that way. Like Nagaraj Prabhu is a good example. Him and his brother both came to see Prabhupada in San Francisco. Till today, his brother never became devotee. Still it meets another. But didn't Prabhupada wants to give him mercy? Yes. Prabhupada said this to Vishnujan Swami. You are taking it and appreciating, but I'm giving to everybody. Not everybody is taking or appreciating. So Nagaraj Prabhu he's still strong devotee going forward, but his brother still never became. He met Prabhupada. So how this happening is not himself alone. Maybe super soul see, he did this, he has to go through this experience also. Krishna is kind, but Krishna is not a override your emotional, like Dhruva Maharaj. He met the Lord, but Lord didn't say, okay, why are you crying? Well, I was looking for how did it go? Jata Kanchanatam. That I was looking for broken glass, I found a diamond. Does it mean now Narayan said, no, it's okay, you did a mistake, now I'll change it? No. Dhruva Maharaj asked for a bigger kingdom, he had to go through. Everybody understand that point? Like if you have a material desire in spiritual life, Krishna will not just take you out. Unless you want, you will have to go through. And this is a very fine line we should understand, very fine line. Like when Prabhupada was given credit, like Prabhupada, so many people are now becoming devotee. Prabhupada said, no, Lord Chaitanya is attracting them. Whoever wants to be attracted, they are coming. Don't want to be attracted, they're gone. Yes, Prabhu.
That story that you touched upon, Vishnu John Swami, he was leading kirtan in Los Angeles, and some devotees were walking with Srila Prabhupada, and one devotee commented, oh, Vishnu John Swami Maharaj, listen to him, Srila Prabhupada, he's the recipient of your mercy. Prabhupada said, my mercy is for everyone, like the sunshine. You can stand in the sunshine or you can stand in the shade. He is simply taking it.
Yeah, very good. Thank you. Another example you can say, one guy went to steal and the owners, they caught him, called the police. The police came, arrested him, and then put him in jail. And then the judge he was brought in front of judge, and judge says 50 years or whatever, just making it up, 50 years. Now, can you put the cause? Who is the cause of his suffering? Who is he? Can you see him as the initiating cause? If he did not want to steal, why is the police and the judge and the jail? Don't even exist. So he's initiating cause. Police is an instrumental cause. You can say judge is a sanctioning cause. Like this, it's not a one, like a person takes the credit of whatever happened. It's a bad example of this, but it happens every day. So you can think like this, that we should never take the credit. That's what it boils down to this. Okay, we'll go to the next sloka. Somebody would like to do it? Did I see someone from you? Prahlad Prabhu, would you like to read? Yes, Mother Komodaki Dasi. I don't know where you're from. Would you like to read?
Yes, I will do.
Okay, text 10.
Text 10.
But you have to do little louder. Is that okay, Mother?
Yes, I'll try.
Okay.
Prabhu, before you go, there is a question on the text. Did you check it, Prabhu?
I didn't check the chat
From
yet.
Bhima, Prabhu, that if I cannot take credit for my actions, then how can I take responsibility for them? Anyways, you can, that's later, but
That's a nice question. Good. Okay, we'll come back. Very good. Yes, Mother Komodaki, go ahead.
Brahmayadaya karmani.
Brahmani adaya karmani.
Sangam tyakva karoti ya.
Sangam tekta karoti ja.
Lipyatena sa papena.
Lipatena sa papena.
Padma patram ivambasa.
Padma patram mandasa.
Should I read the translation?
Yes, Mata.
One who performs his duty without attachment, surrendering the results to the Supreme Lord, is unaffected by sinful action, as the lotus leaf is untouched by water.
Purport?
Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Here, Brahmani means in Krishna consciousness. The material world is a sum total manifestation of the three modes of material nature, technically called Pradhan. The Vedic hymn Sarvam Hi Etat Brahma Mandukya Upanishad 2. Tasmat Etat Brahma Nama Rupam Annam cha jayate, Mundaka Upanishad 1.2.10, and in the Bhagavad Gita 14.3, Mama Yonir Mahad Brahma, indicate that everything in the material world is a manifestation of Brahman. And although the effects are differently manifested, they are non-different from the cause. In the Ishopanishad, it is said that everything is related to the Supreme Brahman or Krishna, and thus everything belongs to him only. One who knows perfectly well that everything belongs to Krishna, that he is the proprietor of everything, and that therefore everything is engaged in the service of the Lord, naturally has nothing to do with the results of his activities, whether virtuous or sinful. Even one's material body, being a gift of the Lord for carrying out a particular type of action, can be engaged in Krishna consciousness. It is then beyond contamination by sinful reactions, exactly as the lotus leaf, though remaining in the water, is not wet. The Lord also says in the Gita 3.30, Mai sarvani karmani sannyasa. Design all works unto me, Krishna. The conclusion is that a person without Krishna consciousness acts according to the concept of the material body and senses. But a person in Krishna consciousness acts according to the knowledge that the body is the property of Krishna and should therefore be engaged in the service of Krishna.
Very nice.
Right.
I like that conclusion. Mother, are you from Baltimore? You sound like.
Yes. You came to our house with Vedyaspi Maharaj.
Yes. Thank you. Nice to hear you. Okay. Anybody has any question on this? Or we'll just go to the next one.
I have a question.
Yes, Mother.
But it's kind of has to do with a little bit more of the previous verse, I think, because when you mentioned that the two are important, the intention and the action, like it's kind of easy to see how action is manifest, like as far as I'm doing action. But the intention, is it more like a feeling, or is it like desire? Like how would I kind of understand it in a better way, like the word intention?
Like for an example, are you familiar with Krishna's pastimes?
Somewhat.
Okay. You know, when Krishna went to Mathura, before he killing Kamsa, he had a fight with wrestler. And he was fighting with Chanura, and his brother, Balaram, his elder brother, was fighting with Mustika. And while Chanura and Krishna were wrestling, it was like a big, real wrestling match, not like a little fun, like real. And every time Chanura would punch Krishna, he was laughing and enjoying. Sukdev Goswami says he was enjoying. Now, if you say, is that love? Is that pure love? Bhakti. By the way, somebody said to me, or text me yesterday, that Bhakti Yoga, why are you using Bhakti Yoga? This word is not in, Prabhupada never used. It's in Bhagavat Gita. Mamcha jo bebicharena, Bhakti Yogena. And he said, oh my God, I never saw that, but I heard that sloka many times. Sometimes we use those words. So anyway, so there, Chanura was punching him and Krishna was laughing. So then question comes, is Chanura pleasing Krishna? Is he expressing his love? And our Acharya says no. Because his action making happy Krishna, but his intention was to kill Krishna. So it is not bhakti. It is not bhakti yoga. It is not definition or application of pure love. You cannot say that action is pure love. Because the whole purpose of Chanura and Mustika was what? To kill Krishna. But Krishna is always joyful, so he likes the, I guess, shiblari, punching. And, he likes it. So it is not. Then we see the other example of Mother Yashoda. Mother Yashoda, when Krishna was really asking for breast milk, Mother Yashoda, to take care of the stove milk, she had to put him down. And Krishna got so angry, he broke the pot. We know the whole Damodar Lila. I'm sure you are familiar with him. So then question comes that, was Mother Yashoda pleasing Krishna? How is pleasing Krishna? He wants milk, but she said, no, sit down. She has to take care. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, it is pure love, because Mother Yashoda, in her mind, she's thinking, I want this boy to become a, the word macho. In America, they say, handsome, real good, strong boy. I cannot raise him with my breast milk alone. I want that milk to make butter and all this food preparation so that he will become, because her intention was so pure to raise this child into healthy, even though her action did not apparently shows that she was pleasing Krishna, it is still pure love. So now you tell me how important is intention.
So it's kind of like basically, so I can understand it better, is the intention is the feeling of love as I'm doing the action, right?
Intention, yes, you're right. But you add little more. You say intention to express pure love without hostility. Hostile.
Without any like negative kind of hostility.
In Sanskrit, it says pratikul rahita. In other words, pure love has a two-track. Should not be underextended or should not be overextended. It has to go in this track. That your intention is favorable, not just intention. It has to be favorable. Favorable, that actually this is pleasing Krishna. It is proven that's what Krishna wants. That's why we take subordination of Guru who knows him better. Radharani knows Krishna the best. So our Guru Parampara, we follow that mood of Srimati Radharani because she pleases him the best. It makes sense?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Prabhu.
In opposition to Chora Mushtika, whose intention was unfair, we have Bhishma Dev, who was on the battlefield, firing arrows at Krishna. So what was his intention?
This is very nice. He's a intriguer. This is very nice. Very nice. Are you familiar with Bhishma Dev Mata? Okay. In Bhishma Dev case, if you look at it in a short, in a few sentences, we can say, in Bhishma Dev case, if you look at it, Bhishma Dev was, as Prabhu says, he was on the opposite side. Another day we discussed Bhishma Dev did not have three things. Even in any circumstances in your life, you can apply Bhishma Dev's teaching in your life. Resentment. Why I'm going through life like this? Seems like Krishna doesn't care. He's not protecting me. To say like this is actually resentment, means I don't like Krishna, what he's doing in my life. Because it is Krishna who sanctioned everything. If you really feel like this, because I did feel many times in my life like that. I apologize. I really cried even one time to Krishna. I said, oh my God, I was horrible monster. Sometimes as a devotee, we think like this. What is happening in my life? It is not nice. Why I'm going through like this? Why Krishna is doing this? He doesn't care. This is resentment talk. This is not actually favorable talk. But Krishna is like a loving mother. Loving mother, the baby doesn't like to take the medicine. But mother is giving the medicine, high fever, mother giving medicine. Did you take the medicine? Yes, just leave it here, I'll take it. She comes back after a few minutes. Oh, you took it? Yes, mother. I say, okay. After one day, she noticed the toilet is filled with those capsules. he just flushed it out. Now mother become angry. I saw this on example. Mother becomes so angry. He said, here's the medicine. You can leave it. No, you have to take it now. Why you are so heavy? She's not heavy. She's just taking care out of affection because he disobeyed. In the name of taking medicine, he just throw it in a toilet, but he didn't realize that it would flush it out, come back for mother to see. So mother may act like a heavy, but it is good for the child cannot see. So sometimes Krishna may give us little tough time, you can say, but still Bhishma Dev said, never ever, he ever forgot that word. Krishna is the cure for all his problems. You literally have to remember this. Krishna is the only cure for any problem we go through. But why is sanctioning this? He said that he is the instigator of this fight. He is the one who is the cause of all this. But he never hold resentment against Krishna. Now in this fight, you can look at many angles. Krishna is there. Krishna took a vow. He's not going to take a weapon. Everybody is familiar with that? He's not going to. Arjuna is thinking, I'll never do anything that will hurt Krishna's name, not only Krishna's body, Krishna's name, Krishna's devotee, like this. So when Ashwatthama heard that Krishna is the cause of his father's death, he made this plot that Ashwatthama died in the name of elephant, but when he was saying in the name of elephant, Yudhishthira Maharaj, Iti Gaja, Krishna blow the conch shell such a way that they didn't hear. So Krishna made it some way. Anyway, Ashwatthama found out, the son, that his father died because Krishna was like actually cause of his death. He understood. So he came to kill Krishna, shooting arrow thousands and thousands. Arjuna jumped right in front. He said, before you touch Krishna, you have to finish this body first. And he took. And Krishna is watching. Wow, Arjuna has so much love for me. Now when, I'm not going to give the whole story, how Prabhupada says the story about that at night, how Krishna sent Arjuna to pick up those 5 arrows from Duryodhana, because Duryodhana was kind of, how is he use the word? Not accused, yeah, kind of accused that, oh, you are lenient to your grandchildren. You're not really fighting like a real fighter. You're like a favorable to your enemy because they are your affectionate grandchild. It's like a, what do you call, not teasing, like making him angry, like to make Bhishma angry, provoking, yes. So then Bhishma said, okay, bring 5 arrows. And he chanted mantra. He said, with this 5 arrows, I'll kill the 5 Pandavas' brother tomorrow, fasting. Krishna found out. So Krishna sent Arjuna. He did not ask anything. He said, just go to Duryodhana. He said, you remember the story one time? I'm not going to that story. There's a one story one time with the Jaksha that Arjuna actually saved the Duryodhana. So Duryodhana said, I want to give you something, special gift. He said, when time comes, I'll take it. I don't need it. I'm your cousin. Why? He said, no, I want to give because this is a big fight. He said, okay, when time comes, I'll ask. So Krishna reminded him, even though Krishna was not there, but he's in the heart. He knows. Right now, Krishna knows what I'm trying to say. And Krishna knows what you're trying to hear. So Krishna witnessing everything. So then Krishna says, you remember that time? He said, yeah. Can you ask him that I have come to ask this 5 arrows? For a Duryodhana, he could not understand the power. Empowerment is not understood by even every devotee. So he said, oh, I was just curious that 5 arrows that grandfather gave, if I can take those. Oh, that's it? Yeah, here. He thought tomorrow another 5 arrows you give him. What's the big deal of 5 arrows? But he took an oath with those 5 arrow mantra. He didn't. So he gave it. And Krishna, when he got it, he just immediately broke it. So then next day, when Bhishma was meditating early morning. He was meditating, and he meditating on Krishna. Then generally nobody comes. He saw one lady came and put a cloth, veil, and paying obeisances. And he said, grandfather, need your blessing. Be happy with your husband. He gave a blessing. And then he realized, wait, whom am I being blessing? Let me look. He said, Draupadi. But he took a vow to kill her husband today, this morning. And Draupadi went to get the blessing. He gave the blessing. Draupadi never comes there. Now in the war, they have a camp. How Draupadi is there? So he asked, how do you, if you don't mind, what made you to come here? He said, Vasudev Krishna told me to get blessing from him. And Bhishmadev is thinking, Krishna is like a loving friend, never want to give up his protection to Pandavas. So Bhishmadev thought, okay, I'm going to show him. Either he will break his promise or he will fight to protect. That's why he went with a big enthusiasm, because he got angry with Draupadi. He was sad. He never said like this. And he thought it was Duryodhana's wife. So he gave blessing, okay, you will be happy with your husband. But then he found out it was Draupadi. It was like against his own promise. So then when he went there, was very interestingly that Bhishmadev brutally started hurting. Now, Arjuna was like a surprise. What is going on? Why grandfather is so heavy? Now you have to understand, in the morning, before they start fighting, the Pandavas, they go to the Bhishmadev and Dronacharya and they pay obeisances. Grandfather, please bless us. Grandfather said, be victorious. But their enemy side, it's very funny. It doesn't make any sense.